Omdevaji, Sheshnag Yoga Center. What on earth is Kundalini? This video is about the men's gathering that I went to just recently in Victoria. I live in Tasmania, Australia, down under. Victoria is the state just above it. I've got to go either fly or go on a boat to get there. So it was a little bit of an adventure for me. I've been encouraged into men's work recently, and I'm in deep reverence and appreciation for that experience or encouragement. So I didn't know what to expect, but it was a beautiful weekend, and I don't know what I can say in regards to the confidentiality agreement that I've made to do with not talking about any of the things that went on there so much, but I can talk about my own experience, and I can talk about the beauty of a safe container and how that really provides a lot of opportunity to be able to open in vulnerability. And the safe container is a beautiful concept because it is something that can be utilized with your children, friends, your partners, consorts, loved ones, family. It's the opportunity where people can be together in an environment where they feel safe and secure, and then they trust that environment long enough to be able to be vulnerable. And then when you get to the core of your own being, that's pure vulnerability, and you can be yourself or you can be exposed. So the men's gathering was 200 kilometres east of Melbourne. Drove there with a friend and his friend, and that was a beautiful experience to start off, because we're talking about conscious men. We're not talking about going to the football, getting on the piss and talking about sport. We're talking about being relatively sober, looking into your sub-psyche to try and iron out some creases, trying to embody a more mature emotional expression as a male, which is holistically expressed and includes being able to range between your own sensitivity and express your emotions in a healthy way, and then the dynamism of moving from that embodiment right through to the empowered masculine energy that is strong in his own boundaries, has integrity in his own sexual energy, but is connected between the heart and the sexual essence, and then through that the mind comes into it. So there's a big growth or movement towards an embodied fusion where the mind and the heart and the body and the sexuality are all in sync and expressing their most healthy form. So the weekend was beautiful. 180 men go to a place where, as a person, I felt accepted. I didn't feel judged. I could be as expressive or unexpressive as I wanted to be. My own sexual orientation doesn't come into question. There's a lot of fun. There's a lot of open expression of emotions. There's a lot of purging and purification of residual pains that have been accumulated through everyday life and everyday experiences, what we call failures, but could be seen as growth experiences or growth periods. There's also, what I found is that I'm a very sensitive man, very caring. I don't always get a lot of opportunity to express that in my everyday life, so there was an opportunity to become more embodied in that. In my own sensitivity, there's a chance that I am like the majority of people, the majority of men. They try endlessly to please their intimate partner. They want to provide and protect and please that person, and that's not always possible. But like any relationship that you have that's close and intimate energetically, then you often give yourself away. I often give myself away, and I'm often over demanded of, so I don't have firm boundaries in that. So I found that I could relate to people in the environment to be with men on a similar journey. So I felt normal, I felt embraced, I felt acknowledged, I felt like I was me, and they enjoyed me being me. There were different nights. There was opportunities to talk from the heart. There was opportunities to express some creativity. There was also 3 workshops a day, 3 workshop periods, but in those 3 workshop periods there were 6 different workshops offered. So that was beautiful, that you had a choice of which workshop was resonating for you and was attracting you, what was relevant to you. The camaraderie and friendship is so heart-based. Some of those hugs were so long that I didn't know when to let go or whether to step into it more, and it was totally beautiful. There was a lot of fun. I found a lot of unique connections. I'm not much of a group person myself, but I found that the one-on-one interactions were really special for me, as well as some of the group things. I went to a few workshops and learned a lot of things about myself, so I could embody that into a more embodied fusion where I can be a mature man, embodying both my emotions and my strengths in regards to my boundaries, and be on purpose, but also be vulnerable. And the main thing that I really wanted to embody is a presence, a stillness where I can be present with someone long enough for them to feel secure enough to be trusting of me, to feel vulnerable. So there's a lot of that going on. So Menergy 2018 was a beautiful experience for me. A very safe container where there was a lot of opportunity to be reflected, because I know everyone reflects me. The reflections I experienced on that weekend were really conscious, beautiful, vulnerable, strong, courageous men on the forefront of the change in dynamic of human embodiment in the masculine body. So thanks to everyone that attended, and hats off to you for taking the effort and time to be there, because it was really, really beautiful in my heart. Brings me joy to be able to be myself, and none of that smart ass talk to do with what men normally do, try and take the piss out of you or cut you down or something. There was none of that. It was more to do with encouragement, embracing people, moving towards an expression of fullness rather than anything else. So I found it really magic, and then I had special connections with several lads, and then on the way home someone took me to their house and let me stay there for the night, and then drove me to the airport, and I was very blessed by all the interactions, and I know I created them, but I just wanted to acknowledge that the experience itself was profoundly heart focused and accepting, and a lot of the things that men innately need in a friendship, in a camaraderie, in a coming together of like-minded bodies, to be able to feel comfortable enough to be more holistic in their expression of their own uniqueness. So thanks to Menergy, thanks to the organising committee, thanks for letting me be a volunteer in the kitchen, and all the beautiful men that I met and will meet over the period of interacting with the Menergy organisation. Cheers. If you ever come to Tassie, there's a Tasman group, Tasman gathering once a year. Get in touch with sheshnag.com. We might sort some accommodation out for you. But you're welcome to come to that. It's been going for 21 years. But it's just a beautiful experience for me to be able to be a part of the men's work and step into this and encourage involvement in it for myself. And I'm not always going to be fearless. Like, I'm quite afraid in some regards to take on new roles to do with being seen in the community as a certain person or a certain role, but I'll give it a crack anyway, because I think that my life's been leading to this experience where I can embrace men's work and work together, and fully brings me a lot of contentment and joy to be able to bring this magic transition into the new paradigm for men in general. Share the world, sheshnag.com. Om Namah Shivaya, Har Har Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev, Har Har Mahadev. Peace.